My friends, the promises of Easter are big promises. And it takes courage and strength for us to claim them as our own. And of course, this is why we gather as we do today, to support one another in our conviction that God's promises of new life are true. And we encourage one another to understand that when we proclaim that Christ is risen, we are proclaiming that God who raised Jesus from the dead is in fact raising us as well, beyond our failures, beyond our brokenness, and changing this complex world into a new creation. Claiming those promises, of course, means that we can't remain silent. And I had an experience this week that I just want to share briefly, and it's the reaction that so many of my colleagues had over the terrible subway violence this past Tuesday in Brooklyn. Many of us watched it on TV, and it put all of us on edge, of course. You know, that kind of trauma triggers so much from our past. But to be honest with you, I was surprised at how much people needed to hear that they were going to be okay. And it came to me in little ways and big ways. I was with a bunch of colleagues Wednesday morning, and it was just by then even so obvious that we needed to do something. And so we had a little prayer service Thursday morning. But my encouragement to all of us is to not be afraid to bless. I think our world, our friends, our family, our colleagues, people that we don't even know need to be blessed. They need to know that God is with them. That this God who raised Jesus from the dead, that this God who is slowly, sometimes I wish it was a little more swiftly, but is slowly changing this complex world, is in fact doing that. We see signs of it all the time if our hearts are open. But I reading and seeing that so many of you are taking on your priestly role by virtue of what baptism is, and we're going to be renewing our baptismal vows in just a little while. Live out your baptism. Live out your priesthood. We need it today more than I've ever seen that we need